Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning in to another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So in today's video, I want to discuss why right now may be the best time to sell your car. Whether you want to upgrade or just to grab some quick cash because your car doesn't get that much use, now is the time to do that. Car markets have been crazy since the beginning of this pandemic. As you guys recall, last year Carvana was just giving out used cars some really great offers, and I thought it had slowed down, but I was wrong because recently Vroom is also doing the same thing, and Vroom is offering a lot more money than the cars are actually worth. If you guys recall from my previous video, I did a quote on my 2019 Mustang GT Premium with almost 17,000 miles, and the offer I got was crazy. The offer is pretty much making me money on my brand new car, which is almost unheard of. Normally when you get a brand new car, for first couple of years where you take a big depreciation hit, which is why it's never recommended to buy a new car, especially when you know you're going to sell it not too long after. So in this video, we're going to discuss why the used car prices are all over the place and just insane offers are being offered or being quoted for a used car, and should you sell your used car in these times to make some quick money or upgrade your car. Let's dive into the video. So there's actually a couple reasons why the used car markets are just crazy right now, and all these companies are willing to give you insane money for your used car. Even if you go to a dealership, I bet you'd walk with a lot more money than you would have anticipated, given the dealers typically lowball you on your trade-in. So one of the reasons why this is happening is a lot of car manufacturers are experiencing a lot of supply chain issues. Since the beginning of this pandemic, the supply chain have been disrupted for pretty much everything, and car manufacturers have to source parts from various different companies to kind of make the car a whole. With the supply chains being affected, there's a lot of delays and production's not being done for some of the parts. So if even for my Mustang, if everything is ready but there's a component like, AC vent something, the AC vent is missing or something like that, they can't really sell the car. So they're waiting on a lot of things. Obviously, there's a lot bigger issues, bigger parts that are missing. Typically, the chip shortage has been one of the common reasons for the production delays, and they're expecting almost $61 billion lost in revenue, and they're not anticipating for this to get any better until 2022. Obviously, it's going to ramp up the production. They're estimating about end of second quarter, but to fully be back to normal, that's 2022. So car manufacturers are having to be strategic where to put the chips, how many cars to roll out, what their profit margins could be. I did a video on the Ford Mustang the production being halted for about 2 weeks and being extended, and why that could lead to a ton of lost revenue for Ford. So you can check that out if you're interested in that. Now with all these delays, obviously there is less brand new cars on the lot, which means the used cars are naturally going to increase in price. That's basic supply and demand. So basically, if someone wants to get a 2021 Mustang, Ford is just not making any new ones, they're probably willing to go 2019 or 2020 Mustang, which in general are going to cause an increase in the used car prices. So this has been pretty apparent with the offers I've been getting from Carvana and Vroom. That's just insane. So a lot of dealerships, a lot of companies like that are online only, are willing to get your car for a higher price because they know they can still turn it around and make money on that. Now the reason is that things are starting to open back up as people, get back to some sort of normalcy, which means that people who use public transport like metro, public buses, or whatever have you, are kind of having to buy a car where they previously didn't need it because the public transport just worked fine for them. And I know a lot of people in heavily metro areas, they prefer to commute with metro instead of driving in the traffic, right? So for those kind of people, they were completely fine with metro and public transport in general. But with everything going on, they don't want to use a public transport, at least not anytime soon. So they're having to shell out for cars, that they previously didn't really need because public transport worked just fine. So obviously combine that with the fact that there's global shortage of chips and various car parts that are causing delays in the production. This adds a layer to the complexity, which basically it multiplies the factor because you have less cars to begin with, which naturally increases the demand of the used cars. But now there's more people who want to get those cars that previously didn't need the cars. So you can see why the used car market is just insane currently. Which brings us to the question, should you take advantage of this current market and sell your used car? Well, I guess it depends on what you want to do. If you are wanting to upgrade your car, then obviously with used car market being the way it is and the prices being the way they are right now, you're obviously going to pay more for the new used car you get, or even a brand new car that you're wanting to get. So it kind of nets out that yes, you're going to make more money on your current car, but at the same time, you're going to pay more for the new car than it's really worth. So it kind of nets out, which is probably the reason I'm keeping my 2019 Mustang GT, because the offer that the Vroom gave me is very, very tempting, but I know if I was to sell it right now, I'm going to pay more for whatever car I'm going to upgrade to. So it doesn't really make sense. Now, the other thing is, if you have a car that's just sitting and doesn't get that much use, maybe you work from home a lot and you don't anticipate as we go back to some sort of normal life, you're not going to have to commute too much, then yes, it kind of makes sense to get the money right now with the way the used market is, sell the car, capitalize on that, and sit on it. Maybe 6 months after, 8 months after, maybe a year, things starting to get back normal in terms of the used car prices. So you made more money on your current used car, and you will be able to get the new used car, new car at a discounted rate that you would have normally pre-pandemic. It's just crazy times we're living in. I mean, buying a brand new car, being able to make money on it. People buy used cars before pandemic started. They're able to make money off of those cars. Like if you bought a 2017, 2018 Mustang right before last March, you're actually making money straight up. So it's insane market that we're currently living in. You can capitalize if you don't really have a need for the car, or if you can wait. I would highly suggest you do that. But obviously if you're going to upgrade, it doesn't really make sense, because you're going to end up paying more for the new used car than you would have in normal times. Well, guys, that's about it. Make sure you like this video. Comment below on your thoughts. What do you think about the used car prices? Do you think they're too insane currently? And always subscribe to Red50 for more videos.